flood warnings in effect.
What's up guys, Tristan Nigro here with another video. Today we are going to talk about 5 ways you can quit drinking easily. I am not currently at home. As you can obviously see, I'm just in some like little plaza near my house. And that's because my roommates are sleeping and I've been slacking on the content. I really don't like how that hat looked. Whoa, my hair's crazy. And we're gonna try to set this up. I should just come here in the middle of the night and film. It's actually like not the worst idea ever. We're gonna talk about quitting drinking. I quit drinking in May 17th. No, yeah, it was May 17th, 2019. So you do the math, I think that's a year and almost 6 months. I'm at like a year and 5 months around there. You guys do the math. You let me know. It's been a while. I'm not counting it as much anymore. For the first year, I was counting it, and I was getting those little chips when you go to the AA program, and that was a lot of help. So that's kind of me qualifying myself to you guys that I know how to not drink, and I don't know if that's like a way to know how. I just don't drink. It's as simple as that. It's not as easy for some people. Some people are physically addicted to it. It is literally a drug. People don't realize that and classify it that because they'll have it every night and they don't want to associate that with being a drug because drug has a sort of negative connotation to it. Maybe this won't be the easiest thing for you, but going into it thinking and going with these 5 tips that I give you, and we're gonna give you 5 reasons, 5 ways to quit drinking easily. So these are like tips, ways to help you if you want to take the plunge and quit drinking, or at least maybe cut it down. You know, drinking, I believe, is one of the worst things you can do to your body, to the people that you love, and to the people around you, the community, everyone. I've done my fair share of like stupid crap while I was drinking. Not proud of any of it, but hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. So number 1, go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I did this when I first took the plunge into believing that I needed to stop drinking, and it is extremely helpful to find a community of people who are striving towards the same goal as you, which is the number 1 goal of not drinking. Yes, it's very religious, and they talk about the big book and they talk about God all the time. It doesn't have to be that for you. Like, I mean, that part of the program doesn't apply to everyone. It could just be a higher power to you, whether that be the energy of the world. You know, a lot of people have different beliefs of what there is of a higher power, whether that be a God or an almighty power, whatever you want to call it. I didn't think that I was an alcoholic in the broader sense of the term. I didn't have to drink every day in order to like function like a lot of alcoholics normally do. That doesn't make me any better than any of them. I still did my fair damage while I was drinking. Having a group of people with you that will do fun things with you, it just gives you an opportunity to find other people that don't need alcohol in order to have fun. There are tons of different groups that you can find. I found one that had a lot of people that were similar to me in age, which can be a little bit more helpful. So if you do decide to join an Alcoholics Anonymous group, then I definitely recommend finding one that's similar to your age. There's ones of all different sorts of ages or a mix of all of them. It's honestly kind of fun going to them. And the biggest reason that it helps me, and I don't know if this is kind of like condescending or pretentious, but when I go there and I hear other people's stories, and they'll joke about this too, like they know that this is part of the reason that some people go there, is that you'll hear people's stories and you realize the shit that you're going through is like insignificant to these people's. Like, they've gone through way more shit, and if they were able to go through that and still quit drinking and still get their life back on track, then I can too. And it's not like my life was a complete mess while I was drinking. It just made things a lot harder. Number 2, I definitely recommend that you find something to replace your drinking. So for a lot of people, every Saturday or Friday night is their bar night, and they go and they meet up with their friends and go drinking. You need to find something that replaces this. And now for me, the easiest part about this was that I was still able to go to these events with my friends, go to the bar, go to house parties and play beer pong, things like that, and still have a lot of fun. You're not going to be judged for it, and if someone does judge you, that's just a really, really shitty person that you definitely shouldn't reconsider being around. Like, do you really want to be with someone that makes fun of you for doing something that's improving your life? I used to be so depressed after drinking, and like very, very depressed. I would go through these very low valleys of depression after I drink, and that's because it's a depressant. It makes you feel like shit, and it's not just the physical hangover the next day, it's the emotional hangover. I was low for weeks after, and I don't know if this was just particular to me. A lot of people aren't like this. They can binge drink on a Saturday night and be fine all week. That's kind of more dangerous in my opinion, because then it makes it's easier for you to binge drink every weekend and not feel it. Like, you're fine with that. And if you do find that your friends are unaccepting of your journey to like quit drinking, and you find that you can't hang out with them, maybe it's time to find a new group of friends. And you can go to, number one reason or number one way is go to the AA group. You can find a lot of friends there that will be incredibly down to do other things with you. Maybe you need to find like a different activity to do every Saturday and Friday night. Like maybe you need to go do something fun on those days, like go hiking or go skiing, go to the movies. Like, there's so much other stuff that you can do, so much you can enjoy in life without getting shit-faced every Friday and Saturday night. I know I'm probably speaking to a minority of you that go drinking every weekend, but if that's you and you do see that as a problem, then maybe you need to address it. Maybe you're not hanging out with the right people. Another thing that you can replace it with are other things that aren't nearly as detrimental to your health or your productivity. Things like smoking weed. And people like improvement gurus and people that are hardcore about self-improvement are going to be super against smoking weed because they think it just like melts your brain and makes you like a lazy person. It's not always the case. Like, there's plenty of successful people like Joe Rogan, for example, who smokes weed occasionally and still gets a lot of work done. This can be you if you do it in moderation, right? Like, if you're doing it before bed every night, that's kind of probably not the best thing. If you do it like once a week or twice a week or something, or when you go to parties, if you can do that and still have fun, then that's perfect. I smoke weed on occasion. I don't do it very often. It's definitely something that has helped me take the edge off sometimes, and it's not nearly as detrimental to your health or other people, your relationships, as alcohol can be. And that might be contrary to what a lot of people in AA will say to you, is that you need to be sober of all substances. I don't think it's the case. I don't actually know the person who wrote the AA book, but I remember hearing something or reading something that they were actually going to include putting LSD into one of the steps, which is absolutely insane. I'm totally for hallucinogens and kind of like expanding your mind and going through those trips. It can be very beneficial to your mind. They've been trying to get things like MDMA legalized, shrooms legalized. These are all drugs that you need to take a lot of precaution with, and I'm not recommending anyone do them. To completely dismiss them because it doesn't mean that you're sober anymore is kind of crazy to me. If you're going to do them, and I'm not recommending that you do them, please do all of your research, because they are very intense, mind-altering substances that can put you in a very terrible state, to say the least. So please do your research if you are going to do them. But again, do not do them. I'm not recommending anyone do them. On to like the weed thing and replacing with something. I smoke my vape. arguably something else that could be bad for you. Again, it's not nearly as bad as what alcohol is. I'll place some studies up on the screen that you can look and peruse for yourself, and it just shows that alcohol is not good for you. You definitely need to be limiting that if you're going out of control. Another thing that you can do to replace the alcohol is getting super into fitness, you know? So I post a lot of different fitness content. If you're interested, definitely go check out some of my other videos. A lot of different workout vlogs, workout type videos, fitness, entertainment, kind of prank sort of things that are very funny to watch, like my Speedo prank video. I want to do more prank videos like that, but if you can find a love for fitness, you'll realize that alcohol is going to place a big detriment on your fitness progress. It's empty calories, it is not good for your body, and if you're hungover on Sunday, you might miss a workout. So I quit drinking. That was one of the factors that played into why I was quitting drinking, because I wanted to take my fitness seriously and not have just an extra thing that was sort of weighing me down. Now that I am not drinking, I know that I have been doing so much better in terms of fitness and my overall health because I quit drinking and took that plunge. Number 3 is you need to be ready to quit drinking. You have to be so fed up with it. You have to be so annoyed with yourself to be able to do it. It took me a while through several nights of binge drinking eventually before I realized it. The turning point for me was when I went camping with my girlfriend and we were all drinking with her family, and I got out of control. I think I not blacked out, but I got very, very hammered with them and kind of made a fool of myself. I won't get into the details, but it made me realize what a piece of shit I was when I drank, and how like drama filled it can make you. You just like want to make drama, you want to have fights, you just get really aggressive and belligerent when you're drinking. It can have a really big effect on your life. I remember this story from my college days. One time I went out drinking with a buddy, and I went to a party where it was kind of like a low-key party where there wasn't a lot of people that I knew or was very comfortable with, which is kind of like a red flag. You don't want to be going to some place where you don't feel that you're comfortable being yourself. It's going to make you want to drink and loosen up even more. It led to me drinking about a third of a 2-6, which is like a 26 ouncer of whiskey. I don't remember anything after taking the bus to downtown where all the bars are. Apparently I was stumbling and my friend put me in a taxi, and the taxi, I passed out in the taxi. I don't actually remember any of this. This is just what I've like thought happened, because one thing led to another, and I woke up in the hospital. Didn't have my phone, didn't have my wallet. The taxi had charged $100 to my credit card because I probably vomited in the taxi. Ended up in the hospital. I had to try and navigate my way home because I didn't know that area of the town. I had never been to the hospital before in my life. Great first time visit to the hospital, waking up there, not knowing where you are and what happened, or having any memory of what happened the night before. And it still took me, I think, 3 or 4 years after that before I decided to quit drinking, which is insane to realize that it took me that long to realize I had a problem. So you need to have a reason to quit drinking. If you're just having a few drinks every weekend, you're probably fine. You don't need to stress about this. If you're take like a mental inventory check on your life and realize maybe when you're drinking you're not that such great of a person. Maybe it's putting a much bigger detriment on your life than you think, and maybe that should drive you to want to quit drinking and take the next step in terms of your personal health, your mental health, building your relationships. And if you can find that reason and put that fire inside you to motivate you to quit drinking, then I definitely recommend you do that. And that can be a great way to make it a lot easier on yourself to quit drinking, because you know you have a reason to do it and you're not just doing it for no reason. Fourth way to quit drinking easily is having a partner do it with you. I never had this way of quitting drinking easily. I didn't have like a person to do it with me. That definitely could have made it a lot easier to have someone with you. This is why you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, is because you want other people around you doing the exact same thing as you, that can motivate you, that can help you go through the steps, go through your journey to quit drinking, and share with people your journey on self-improvement and improving your life. I know my mom recently quit drinking. This was kind of like, not quit drinking, but it was like it's her experiment. She said she's gonna go 1 year without drinking, so we'll see how she does on that. But it would have been cool to have someone really close to me be going through the same thing with me. If you can get like a relative to go, from what I've heard with a lot of people that have wanted to quit drinking, is that going to like family events can be very, very difficult when you're sober. I know that I used to get into a lot of drinks when I would go to some family events, because it was easier, it was more fun. And some people don't have as good of a relationship with their family as I do, and they're kind of forced to go and hang out with their family, and maybe that's not very enjoyable, so drinking definitely would help with that. So having someone like a relative with you that is going through the same thing, who can help you say no to people that are offering you drinks, because not everyone's going to be as accepting as my friends were and my family was, because they don't pressure me into drinking, even though that probably wouldn't have fazed me. I've had several people tell me to drink and just have a drink, loosen up, and I just tell them to fuck off. That's basically it. I mean, it's my body, and I can choose whatever I want to do with it. And if you're not having fun with me around you, then I don't want to be around you. Then tell me to leave. I don't really care. I'll find someone else to hang out with. It's as simple as that. But having someone to help you, a close friend, a relative, maybe people around you don't drink around you. I don't personally do that. I don't find it helps, or maybe it would, but I never needed that. But for some people, that little temptation can be very difficult, and going through that with someone is definitely a hell of a lot easier. So definitely try and find someone to help you out. Number 5, read up on all of your facts about drinking, the negative effects of it, and you can be the most self-righteous person on the planet, and you can just have that one up on everyone else, you know? I do that all the time. I tell my aunts and uncles, "Why are you drinking? It's so bad for you." No, I'm just joking with you guys. I do that sometimes, but just because some of them will talk about me vaping and say that it's bad for me and stuff. That's just being that's some friendly banter between relatives and stuff. The number 5 reason, and I've used this a lot, is find someone, a celebrity or someone that you look up to that's quit drinking, and use that as motivation to quit drinking yourself. I know Eminem and Zac Efron are people that I've watched a lot, I've listened to a lot over the past year and a half, and they motivate me to quit drinking. And I realize that, if someone is that well off in life, they have their financial, part of their life set, that they can still quit drinking, that's pretty inspiring to me. I know as a kid, being super naive, I would have thought that like someone that well off and that financially set in their life would just drink all the time because they just could, because they're drinking. Like, what you need to realize is that these people have a lot to do, and they have a lot to a reputation to hold. They have a lot of people looking up to them, and that can be motivation to you. Pick someone and find someone that that inspires you to quit drinking, and use that as motivation. That could be a great way to help yourself, and to realize that someone else other than yourself, someone that big, someone that famous, was able to quit drinking and continue it throughout their strenuous and difficult, busy lives. Because I know those guys are extremely busy all the time. They're up to everything. I know Zac Efron just released a documentary on Netflix. I forget what it's called. I watched a little bit with my girlfriend. It was pretty entertaining. I don't watch a lot of TV or anything, but it's just cool to see someone like that you look up to, that quit drinking. You might be surprised of some of the celebrities that are part of the AA program have quit drinking. Anyways, guys, that is it. That is 5 ways to quit drinking easily. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We're just gonna longboard back home. It's getting pretty cold. And I'm sure my battery, my camera is about to overheat, even though it's so cold out here. It stopped earlier because this camera gets too hot. So I gotta save up for a new camera so that doesn't happen, and then I can plug in a mic to this camera and I can do more of those like prank videos, get some more super entertaining stuff for you guys. Yeah, we're in this little plaza. I know, perfect webcam spot to do a video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's inspired some of you to try and take the plunge to quit drinking. And maybe one person, one of you might take the plunge and quit drinking. And if you ever have any questions or you want to ask me anything, I do not have a lot of subscribers, so definitely hit me up with advice. I like to help people. I know I had one girl, she messaged me and I tried to help her out in some way that I could. She wasn't quitting drinking, but she wanted to, you know, reduce the amount that she was drinking, and I hope that it helped her. Follow me on Instagram. I want to post a lot more. I need to be making videos. That was one of the reasons I came out here, is because my roommates, they're like sleeping right next to my bedroom, so it's hard to, you know, talk loud and project my voice without waking them up. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Target on my back, lone survivor last. They got me in the sights. No surrender, no trigger, fingers go